It was a Thursday afternoon at the facility, and the air was thick with the smell of Salisbury steak and menthol muscle rub. Wendy sat by the window in the rec room, flipping through a tattered issue of Metal Hammer magazine she'd swiped from her grandson's backpack. She adjusted her reading glasses and gasped. Grandma's Chainsaw is playing at the Armory tonight in OUR Town. Oh, we have to go. Maxine, sitting next to her, knitting a lopsided scarf, squinted. Grandma's? What now? Chainsaw? Maxine. They're a heavy metal band. Thrashy, loud, and absolutely amazing. I crowd-surfed at one of their shows in '99. Broke my hip. Worth it. Nancy stirred from her usual nap on the couch. What's a chainsaw got to do with Grandma's? Gary, who was trying to sneak pudding into his pocket, chimed in. I know those guys. I saw them once in '87. Thought the drummer was on fire? Turned out he was. Wendy stood, suddenly full of purpose. Listen, tonight is our night. We're busting out of this place and going to that concert. Katie, the CNA, happened to walk by just then. No one's busting out of anywhere, Wendy. Hypothetically, Katie, Wendy grinned, if someone were to sneak out for a little cultural enrichment, what would they need? Katie rolled her eyes but smirked. Well, for starters, not to set off the front door alarm like last time, right? No repeating the bingo heist of 2023? Wendy nodded solemnly. Later that evening, Operation Chainsaw was underway. Roy, the former Navy man, was stationed by the kitchen. Phase 1. Diversion. He set off the fire alarm by burning toast in the break room microwave. Staff scrambled. Phase 2. Wheels. Nancy rolled herself and Maxine out the side entrance in her electric scooter, both wearing oversized hoodies and sunglasses. Wendy and Gary, meanwhile, slipped out through the laundry chute. Wendy hit the landing like a champ. Gary less so. He landed in a basket of towels and muttered, I think I broke my dignity. A half-hour later, the crew arrived at the Armory. Wendy had bribed an Uber driver with Werther's Originals and a crisp $20 bill. Inside, the place was packed. Fog machines roared. A man in a fake blood-splattered lab coat was selling merch. Maxine looked around, dazed. This isn't bingo. Then the lights dropped. The stage exploded with pyrotechnics and feedback as Grandma's Chainsaw kicked into their opening song, Murder at the Matinee. Wendy threw up the horns. Yeah. Nancy, still half asleep, nodded to the beat. Gary headbanged so hard his dentures flew out. Maxine stood motionless for a while, then yelled, I like the drummer. He looks like my ex. Halfway through the set, the lead singer, Machete Mike, spotted them in the crowd and shouted, We got some badass elders in the pit tonight. The crowd went wild. Wendy took a bow. She hadn't felt that alive in years. Hours later, the crew returned to the facility, sneaking back in with just enough stealth to fool the night shift. Barely. Katie spotted Wendy back in her bed, her hair full of confetti. Have a good nap, Wendy. Wendy winked. Best nap I've ever had. And from then on, whenever Grandma's Chainsaw rolled into town, Wendy and her crew were ready with earplugs, energy drinks, and a laminated escape plan labeled Operation Shred or Dead. A week had passed since Wendy and her crew's infamous escape to see Grandma's Chainsaw live. Word had traveled fast. Someone posted a blurry TikTok of Wendy headbanging in the front row with the caption, Senior Slayer, she's 82 and wild. It went viral. By Monday, the band's manager called the facility directly. We heard we've got some hardcore fans living at your facility, he said, trying not to laugh as he read the headline. Retirement Rebellion. Geriatric metalheads sneak out for chaos. The guys want to stop by. Katie nearly dropped the phone. You're telling me Grandma's Chainsaw wants to play a show? Here. Oh yeah, the manager said. They said if Wendy can crowd surf at their show, they can come mosh at hers. Word spread fast. By Thursday morning, the nursing home was buzzing. Maxine was teasing her hair into a makeshift mohawk with denture cream. Gary dug out his vintage Judas Priest shirt, and Roy was stringing Christmas lights around his walker for stage vibes. Nancy, as usual, was napping on the couch. The parking lot was converted into a makeshift venue. Staff wheeled out residents who blinked in confusion as a tour bus with flames. painted on the side, rolled up and parked diagonally across the handicapped spots. The door slammed open. Out stepped Machete Mike, lead singer of Grandma's Chainsaw, wearing leather pants, knee braces, and a shirt that read "Mosh gently." "Wendy, Wendy," he bellowed. "You made our week. We're gonna blow the roof off this nursing home, or at least shake the windows a little." Wendy strutted up, her walker customized with skull decals and tassels. "Let's shred, sweetheart." The show kicked off with a toned-down but still ferocious version of Napalm Oatmeal. The bass made the vending machine rattle. Some of the more confused residents thought it was bingo night with unusually aggressive sound effects. Katie wore noise-canceling headphones and passed out earplugs like candy. Even the stern administrator Amanda peeked out from her office and muttered, "Well, at least it's not karaoke again." During the final song, assisted thrashing, Machete Mike helped lift Wendy onto a stretcher board for a safe. Supervised crowd surf among the CNAs and one very excited physical therapist. Roy, arms raised, screamed, "I haven't felt this alive since Disco died." After the encore, Grandma's Chainsaw took a group photo with the residents. Nancy, still snoring in her recliner, had a drumstick placed gently in her hand. She didn't wake up, but she did smile. That night, Wendy sat in the common room, drinking cherry Pepsi and nursing a bruised elbow. Katie walked by, shaking her head with a smile. "You satisfied now?" Wendy leaned back and sighed. "Yeah, for now." But deep down, she was already plotting the next great adventure.